The best thing about crossword puzzles is how they seem to prepare you even before you get started on them, regardless of the style of the crossword puzzle you come across or create for yourself. Most of them always seem to follow the same pattern. Some crossword puzzles are quite complex in nature. Many can potentially include obscure words and phrases that you may not be very familiar with. If you want to be quite adept at solving crossword puzzles, then you should consider having a thesaurus and or a dictionary at your side. Welcome to episode 108 of the Teacher Rockstar Podcast, a place where tips and strategies critical to the new teacher are discussed. I'm your host, Steve Hiles, and today's episode is Enjoying Crossword Brain Games. Now, I want to make a mention that for the new teacher, incorporate age-appropriate crossword puzzle brain game activities for your kids because they will invariably enhance their problem solving and critical thinking skills. Okay? Every chance that you get. Okay, before we dive right into today's topic, we have the following messages from our sponsor. Would you like to supercharge your classroom management skills? Well, if you're a teacher with less than 5 years of classroom experience, a student teacher, or perhaps you're a teacher returning back to the classroom after an extended absence, the Teacher Rockstar Academy course is just for you. Gain the confidence and skills you'll need to crush it on day one and beyond. Take advantage of one-to-one personal coaching, 1 year of email support, our Facebook community group, the online classroom, and super cool bonuses. So invest in yourself and enroll now at teacherclassroomresources.com. Would you like unlimited access to over $1,000 worth of educational resources for less than a small pack of chewing gum a day? And you know what the best part is? You get a free 7-day trial. So go ahead and check it out. And after that, it's only $9.99 a month. So what do you have to lose? New products are added continuously. Simply go to membership.teacherclassroomresources.com. And I know you will love being part of this membership community. Okay, let's dive right in. How to complete crossword puzzles successfully. Okay. If crossword puzzles aren't exactly a category of brain games you're considerably familiar with, try using a pencil instead of a pen. Okay. Until your vocabulary extends, it is quite likely you will spend a lot of your time making mistakes and erasing them. So, equally important, my friend, is the fact that it is smart to read the puzzles before attempting to answer the questions. Okay? While reading, try to look for clues to help you solve the problems. The clues you come up with will help you solve the difficult areas more easily. Try to mark out the clues in difficult areas. Creating a mark at clues can help you solve the puzzles easily. Use reference materials as well, as I already stated prior. Prepare ahead and take breaks to avoid overloading your mind. Larger puzzles especially are commonly difficult. Do the easy stuff first, okay? Try to fill in all the easier clues first. Then break down the puzzle into blocks. Block the puzzle across and then down until you reach the ending of the clues list. Now, this will give you advantages when doing harder crossword puzzles. The longer words will become easier, and you can eliminate a third to a half of the puzzle quickly. Find your clues, especially the hints that have 2 or more solutions in solving the problem. Jot down each clue alongside its relevant clues. Keep marking until you have solved enough of the squares to eliminate the words that do not belong in the puzzle. Complete the easiest clues first. Then work toward the longer words. Search for words that are not linked to the theme of the puzzle. The linking words sometimes mix obscure words that may not be familiar to you. So go ahead and get that thesaurus or dictionary. With some puzzles, you may need to use an encyclopedia. With some puzzles of religious themes, the words lead you to clues that quote the Bible, for example. The crosswords may make references to an explicit location or an episode in biblical history. Work through the clues in the same fashion as you did with the easier clues. Work through the clues block by block. Next, Fill in additional words. The puzzle will become easier to solve as you fill in more squares, obviously. Use previous clues to help you solve the puzzle you are currently working through. Now, for the longest clues, you may need to understand the theme of the puzzle. The longer clues tend to play on words that relate to the theme of the puzzle. Follow the process of elimination and apply basic logic. The puzzle may become a little tricky. Sometimes the puzzles use numbers or symbols to complete parts of the word or phrase. Use your creative mind at this point to assist you with solving the puzzle. Think positive as you work through the tricky areas since it promotes the power of the mind. Some puzzles have word arrows in each theme that relates to the clues. These types of puzzles often require that you place an actual arrow where the clues intersect. Sometimes you have to replace words or letters, such one with the same number. If you follow these simple steps as you work through crossword puzzles, you will discover that solving crossword puzzles is not as demanding as you once thought it was. Once you begin to solve puzzles successfully, your brain will be sure to reap the rewards. Now let's talk about learning crossword brain games. Now, in some cases, puzzles have word arrows in each tract. Those correspond to the clues. These blazons of puzzles often require that you place a definite director where the clues cut across. Sometimes now you have to replace words or letters, such as one with the same number. Once you include all categories within a puzzle successfully, you could complete the puzzle. At what time you are starting crossword puzzles, take notes before you get started, since it will prepare you for the rocky road ahead. Usually, crossword puzzles follow the same system regardless of the style. You can splendidly complete crossword puzzles by getting yourself ready. You should have a lexicon, pen, paper, pencil, erasers, glossary, and other tools at your side. Some of the crossword puzzles can come off as incomprehensible. Some have slogans or indefinite words. You need to prepare ahead if you want to master the puzzle successfully. It is always wise to review the puzzles before attempting to fill in the squares, especially for the beginner. Okay. What you should do is search for reminders to help you expound the snarls. Okay. Looking for inklings that will help you solve the more difficult parts of the puzzle without much stress. When starting crossword puzzles, always search for clues and mark them as you see them. At the confusing areas, try to mark the areas so that you can recall it back to mind. Use a handy dictionary to guide you through some of the difficult areas. Clues are often hidden in words above other words, below, crosswise, or sometimes even in the puzzle. Each time you spot a new clue, mark it right away so you don't forget. You can break the clues down into blocks as well, which can help you solve the puzzle much more effectively. Block the puzzles across, down, and continue until you complete the list of clues. You will come to harder areas within most crossword puzzles. Blocking will help you to work through these areas. When you reach long words, try to use the first letter that filled in the block below, above, or crossways in the last squares. Continue to search for more clues. Study all angles of the puzzle until you feel you know what letter goes in the square to solve the problem. Jot down each clue next to relevant hints within the puzzle. Continue marking clues until you have completed the squares. Now, keep it simple. This is the best rule of thumb. Okay, so when you keep it simple, include search for easy clues first. You will find it easier to work through puzzles. Sometimes you can work through longer words first to make it easy. Yet this is hardly an ideal option if you are not familiar with crossword puzzles. In some areas of crossword puzzles, you may spot words you are not familiar with. So in this case, use your thesaurus or dictionary to help you solve the puzzle. When you come to the longer squares, work from side to side of each clue, following the same patterns you did with shorter clues. Create your block of clues. Fill in bonus words. Crossword puzzles often become easier to solve once you learn basic steps in solving the puzzles. Now, the longer clues can be mastered when you review the puzzle's theme. The longer clues often follow the theme of the puzzles. Just work through the puzzle until you feel confident that you have mastered each square. You will come to areas that may cause confusion. When you come to these areas, take your time and use your dictionary. Follow the same patterns as you did with the easier areas, and you'll do fine. Now, here are some mind busters for you. Brain games come in many forms. Now, each game form is designed to interact with your brain in its unique way. The crossword puzzle is fashioned to get you to open your mind to various suggestions. Rather than using the right or left side of the brain games use tactics to inspire both sides of the brain. You can enjoy brain games most times, but the problems crossword puzzles throw up at times can be frustrating to some people. Since many people want to avoid problems, brain games encourage you to face the problems head on and to look at all sides of the problem so that you can find ways to solve it. Several other types of brain games are available. You can find websites that offer you free mind busters, riddles, trivia, and other type of brain games that will help you improve memory, skills, and problem-solving skills, and critical thinking, and so on. Take time to do a few different types of brain games so that you will have an idea which puzzles are suitable for you. Some sites allow you to post your own mind busters. Perhaps you can start creating your own in time. Solve the unsolved brain games to improve your IQ. Well, my friend, we have come to the end of today's episode. I want to thank you for listening to the Teacher Rockstar podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hiles. When you get a moment, visit my new and improved blog and subscribe to my newsletter for the latest educational research, best practices, and unadvertised free bonuses. Go to blog.teacherclassroomresources.com. And don't forget to subscribe to us at the Teacher Rockstar Podcast. And if you'd like to support us, please feel free to share our podcast with others. Post about it on social media. Leave a rating and review. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks again. We'll see you same time, same place next week. And remember, my friend, you got this.